Hello, welcome to this tutorial on how to make a storyboard. I'll be basing mine on the story called Dennis the Dragon's Guide to Going Green, and I'm beginning with this A2 mount board. You can use your sketchbook, a bit of cardboard, anything really, as long as you can see the drawings nice and clearly. Now I'm going to need my panels. Hey, look at that! Just what we needed. So we've got 4 panels on this board and another 4 I'll show later. For now, we're going to work on this one. So let's get started on our first panel. So here's panel number 1. As you can see, I've labelled it with a 1 at the top hand corner, and we've got this line at the bottom, and that's where we're going to put our notes. I've used A5 pieces of paper for my panel as they're easy to read from a distance, which is important. That section at the bottom is for notes and screen prompts, leaving all this space up here for your main image. So let's start our first panel. First, I'm going to sketch out a rough idea of what I want. This panel is taken from this line in the Dennis story.
Dennis wonders what can be done at Lincoln Castle. He hopes that it won't involve lots of hassle.
So here's Dennis in the middle, thinking about what to do, with a big thought bubble above his head. Now I'm going in with my pen and cleaning out all those lines so the image is nice and clear. And now I'm going to write a brief description of what is going on in this image. You want to avoid putting lots of text in this box because you need to be able to read it quickly as you look at your storyboard. No need to write the entire story in this box. Now let's get rid of those pencil lines and make it look nice and neat. A common use for storyboards is by animators and filmmakers. Planning each scene this way makes it easy to read and everyone can understand what's going on. Now for the stage directions and movement prompts. This is where we plan what our characters are going to do in each scene. You might want to grab a nice bright colour for these, so it stands out from the rest of your drawing and you can read it really quickly. So here, Dennis will be tapping his chin and making a noise as he thinks. So now you can see how simple it is to make a story panel readable and interesting. Shall we do another panel? So, same as before, number up here, note box at the bottom, let's jump straight into the drawing. This panel is taken from this part of the story.
How can we do our bit? The staff asked Dennis. This climate emergency is becoming a real menace.
Now with our lines tidied up, we can go back in with our trusty blue pen and add those movement lines. Now here's a useful tip if you get stuck on what to do. Get up from your chair and act out the scene and pay attention to what you're doing with your arms, your face, everything. Then you can go back to your drawing and add what you've learned. Animators and filmmakers often video themselves acting out scenes for reference. I think we've gotten the hang of it now. Let's quickly move on to panels 3 and 4. You know what to do by now. Sketching, line cleanup, erasing, and then we go on to our notes. Here I've added some fun little movements for the thought bubbles, so they will pop in one by one and float around. So on this panel I've added a camera prompt, which is pointing to the next panel over. This indicates I want the camera to pan over from this scene to the next. You'll see on the next panel how they link up. So now you can see I'm adding the note to stop the camera panning at Dennis. This will transition the scenes with one motion instead of a cutaway. This is a way to add some more interesting shots to your animation or film. Try using the camera to transition between scenes instead of always cutting from one to the next. You could even add zoom in or pan up in one of your stage directions. Okay, that's our first board done. Let's see what both storyboards look like together. Here's board number 1, and we start from panel number 1, reading left to right, and then moving down to 3 and 4. And then on panel 2, same again, left to right, and then 7 and 8. You can always draw them in any order, going from left to right all across, or from the top down. It's entirely up to you. And that's it. That's our storyboard. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We'd love to see what you create with your own storyboards out of the books, films, and TV shows that you love. Until next time, bye!